My bad.
No, it's great.
Welcome.
Yo.
Fun. Everybody, it's episode 11 of Moment by Moment. We are introducing a brand new set this episode. We're going to be talking Hustlin Show Series 2. Thanks for joining us. We got King Brett, Treaticus, and our special guest, Dream Shaker. What's up, fam?
Big Dream. What up?
What up?
Good to see you. Good to be with you.
Good to be here, man.
Love in the house. Looking good. What's up, man?
It's gotta be a Dream Shaker. It's Dream Shaker.
South Beach, Miami.
That's how it is. That clean shaved face, glistening, looking beautiful. Like, woo!
Gotta represent Peru too.
I love it, my man. You definitely are always you're faithful to your roots, bro. I got huge props and respect for you on that one, bro. Love it.
You were great in the episode earlier this week on the pod.
Yep.
Our first episode of Collectin and Connectin podcast. Appreciate you being on there.
Great way to start it.
Yes, sir. Excited to have you on here today. Going to dig through set on NBA Top Shot, talking Hustlin Show Series 2. Gonna go through 3 moments from that set, talk about them, and break down the basketball. Let's get into the first one if you guys are ready.
Let's get in.
Let's do it, man. We're
gonna have fun saying this name, so make sure you get it all the way through before you don't stop in the middle of Facundo Campazzo.
I go all the way through. I try to hit the back. I don't ever just go halfway.
I bet you do. Facundo Campazzo.
Brett, what you got on Facundo?
All right. 18,000 mint count. Got going on. This is a rookie year, a rookie mint, which is awesome. It's an assist moment. It's fun to watch. 324 of these bad boys have been burned. There's just over 500 for sale right now. There's 3,300 locked. So some people showing some love. If you're thinking about it, there's a $2 floor right now. So it's a great one to get into. The top sell ever, $1,999. So almost a $2,000 top sell moment there. But great dude from Cordoba, Argentina, undrafted, put up 24 minutes, 6 points, 4 steals. And I love this one, 10 assists. A guy that can distribute the ball. Y'all break down this moment.
Undrafted player that doesn't play for the Miami Heat. What? Get
ready for that joke series.
I thought they had them all
undrafted.
Yeah.
And the guy who played with the team without them, so maybe they did something right. I don't know. That's a dig on my own team, honestly. But yeah, this is a top level moment. Facundo Campazzo actually comes from one of my favorite clubs in general, Real Madrid. So I'm a Real Madrid fan. Barcelona can go, do something to themselves or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, but Real Madrid is my club of soccer of choice. And so he actually played for our squad. And Real Madrid actually won the Euro League this year. We got to cover it and watch playback. So that was awesome to see. He was not on the team this season. So I don't know exactly what happened in the Euro League final. I don't know if he was actually on the roster. But they won the Euro League. And they won it in a nail biter. Last second of the game, dude who hit the game winner only had 2 points that game. And it was the game winner.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's badass. Yeah, he's actually won the Euro League championship twice in 15 and in 18. And the reason I know that is because 2018 was with Luka on Real Madrid.
Right,
so Luka Doncic was his teammate. The first time they were teammates because he played 2 years here at Denver and then made his way over to the Dallas Mavericks for a short stint with us before we waived him for Kemba Walker. But was with the Nuggets there 2020 to 2022 and then just missed the championship by a year.
Man,
poor guy.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I love this behind the back pass though right here.
Yeah, it's nice. So this is the show. This is the show in the Hustlin Show.
Well, he hustles pretty hard.
I think he hustles in the passing lane to jump out there to steal it from Caleb Martin and on the bad pass. And then the show would be that behind the back pass. He sells the layup, man, because LaMelo, he's not a threat to dunk it or even score right here. But he looks right at the rim, and LaMelo thinks he's going to pin it like it's easy.
Yep.
And then
I also don't know if we see Caleb Martin in there.
Is that not him?
Cody Martin.
Is it Cody Martin?
Oh, no, I mean at the beginning. It might be Cody or Caleb at the beginning of the play. You sort of see him now with the top shot moments. That's why they're so much better now. You actually get the full kind of different
number
angles
10.
Of the play.
I recognize the hair. I thought it was the same, but I could be wrong.
Could be
with brothers.
Yeah, you are an expert in hairstyles, so that you're probably right.
Good point.
Yeah, more of a hat.
But yeah.
So you guys,
this in transition.
You guys collect this set? You got this set? Y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I do. Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I
think it's 2 and 3.
It's a great set. A lot of folks were saying not to do it in Series 4, but I'm happy with it. I want to collect this every time they
I think that's a reaction to moments in general. I think that everybody was trying to just have less and less. So just because it's not their favorite, they're willing to give up on it. But I think a lot of us are really invested and like this set that went after 2 and 3. I think it shows, to your point, bringing up the play on the words. I think it brings up 2 valuable parts of the game of putting in the hustle and putting in that effort. And then a little bit of flair on the backside of it. And we'll see that in every one that they pull out.
Right. Like, and in this particular play, sorry, I'll go in there. I'll go after.
No, I was just going to say, like you said, you brought up, take this, fast forward this set to today, the moments would be totally different. They progressed so far since when this set came out, like night and day. It would be cool to see some of the sets transition to, what they're doing now. That's up.
Yeah, so I think that's where this moment doesn't do justice for how tight this play is. You can sort of see it in the caption, right? So you see LaMelo basically, and I mean, LaMelo's not much of a shot blocker, but on Facundo Campazzo, he's getting that ball if he goes up for a layup. Like he's going to go against that because he's just too. Like 6 inches bigger, but you see how tight that window is. And so as LaMelo's going on, the only little bit of gap of space that he has is to wrap that ball around his back. So, that right there. And it's Michael Porter Jr. also running the break too with him. So if you imagine this, I wish they could do, I don't wish they could do remix moments because that would require more moments. Maybe I could trade this in and get a remix moment of it.
That's a good idea though.
But you would maybe get now in S4, right? You could get like a little slow-mo because I know Time Lord is doing the, curation behind it now, getting these different angles, and Time Lord, we go way back in Boards to Buckets. And so, you would now imagine just an angle of him wrapping that pass right around LaMelo as he's going over there, and probably maybe a close-up on his face like, wait, what?
What the hell?
You might get that. Yeah.
Good breakdown. I like that a lot.
Incredible.
I like that.
And in transition, this treat, in transition, I mean, the game's going as fast as it could possibly can be. And as you go up levels, the game gets faster and faster and faster and faster. So we're talking about the highest level of basketball. So he's doing this in a split second.
And moving down that court.
We always talk about reading the descriptions in there. They quote unquote say nonchalantly pass behind the back. That is true right here. He's barely even worried or showing anything. He's selling that fake and then just dropping the dime. I love it.
Love it. Great moment. I like that. He slows down a little bit, right? Good pace right there. Gives Porter Jr. a little bit of time to catch up. It's a nice slam too. I mean,
it was.
Yep.
He's a hell of a player.
Porter Jr. NBA champion.
Lots of potential, right? Going to be healthy, right? Going to get better and better.
Yeah, he's just beginning his journey.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Is he the same draft class as Tatum?
Who, Porter?
Good question.
Or is he younger?
He might be, actually. I think he might be the same class. He's the bowl class, I think. I can't remember. But he's like 2017.
You think about that. You think about the how young those guys still are. There's just so much good young talent in this league.
That was such a good move by Denver taking him because he had that injury and he wasn't really available to get started. There was no pressure on him to come out his rookie year and start playing big minutes. So they were able to slow play him and bring him along. And then that's just a lineup, man.
Yep. Studs.
Yeah.
Studs.
That's it. Porter in the open break.
Moment number 2. We got Kent Bazemore.
The
Golden State Warriors here.
King Brett likes to blaze more.
Whoa. I do not endorse this comment made by Criticus according to the law of the United States
Hi, Mom.
Texas. Mom, make me some meatloaf.
You never know what she's doing back there.
You never know. Kent Bazemore. Let's talk about basketball in queso. 18,000 moment count. I love this. It's the steel side of the hustle of it. 72 of these burned. Just over 700 for sale. Nice. Almost 3,400 of these locked. So people definitely love them some Kent. It's got a $2 low ask right now. Just over 600 still hiding in packs somewhere out there. Too big distributed at some point or burned. Top sale of this guy, $3,200. Number one sale right there.
Unbelievable.
Hometown, Kelford, North Carolina, another undrafted guy that we have, but he put in 19 minutes. He had 3 points in this game and 2 steals, and this is one of them. Break this down, guys.
Nice hustle.
So that is exactly why somebody spent $3,200 on a dude who put up 3 points. I mean, that's why you got to read the game description of the performance. Top Shot does a good job now of sort of, basically almost, I wouldn't say babying you into it, but what they create now, what they choose to make into a moment, there's some fire behind it. Even if it's a comment, it's a banger comment. It's something that you're going to want to have with some angle here, right? This moment, while I like it, there's one thing I know Ken Bazemore by, and it's that he tried to get this crazy contract extension. Where was he at the time? I think it was from the Warriors, right? I think it was from the Warriors. He denied a contract extension, and then they end up not re-upping with him, and then he ends up signing for the minimum with the Lakers. And I don't even know if he's on a roster these days. He's definitely at the bottom of it, but he had a good 2-year cushion for him to still be on a team. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, I think this sort of represents a little bit about the craziness of, what is this, S3 or S2 Hustlin Show? Is this S3?
This is S2, Series 2, the first
S2. Yeah. Okay, so Series 2, yeah. So and the reason why these moments,
because dude has played for everybody. I usually try to make a list of where all the teams he's played, and he's bounced around like crazy. Been on several teams. So it had to be the Warriors for the extension talk because he was there one of the longer periods. But Hawks for several years, Blazers, Kings. I mean, and he kept getting traded, moved to different teams for different people. I noticed the hustle point from this play. I love he gets the steal, but it's going out of bounds, and McDermott thinks he's not going to get to it, and he just dives for it and tips it between his legs to that streaking Kelly Oubre. I thought that was a pretty cool play.
Nice.
Yeah. Should be AKA Kelly Oubre dunk. Like he gets it and just woo.
For sure.
Oubre,
three of the moments today are great finishes, and they're not by the person who makes the steal or the hustle part of it. A lot of this is having somebody on that back end who can flush it. Because that wasn't me doing that. I was making the pass.
Amen to that.
I mean, that's where you have to appreciate the basketball part of the play. So as much as I could say it doesn't fit sort of the Top Shot, I guess what we would like to be in terms of a supply, like it's a Ken Bazemore moment for a pretty popular set. It's still one of those things where if you play the game, I can imagine myself because I've been in this situation before when I played before, and the ball's coming out of bounds. Your whole world is sort of rocked when you're making the motion that he does. So you almost don't even know where you're throwing that ball into. So as soon as you're kind of going down into that ball, your body's contorting and it's just pure adrenaline that he probably has. And I don't know if he really means to put it in between his legs, but for some slight second, he probably does. And then boom, it's just in there. And his whole body, he just doesn't even know where he's landing, but he's just giving it all for his team. So the ethos of the play itself is the hustle part of why we collect Hustle and Show.
For sure.
So he
trained.
He didn't have to put his body in.
No, I'm sorry. What did you say, Dream?
No, that was it. That's the ethos part of the hustle, right? He didn't have to go and necessarily fall out of bounds, right? And actually, mind you, I don't think there's any crowd over here. So if there were a crowd out there, I wonder if he would have made necessarily the same play. He probably would, but it would be maybe a little bit more messy with the popcorn there and the drinks flying out and some decent beer all over himself.
Beers. And you're trained on these sorts of plays, like you're diving out of bounds, tip the ball, tip it towards your goal. Don't ever hit it towards the opponent's goal.
There's the coach's son coming out.
That's just what you're told, man, over and over and over. If you're jumping out of bounds to try to save a ball, you do everything you can to get it towards your basket.
The reason for that is you're putting your defense at a disadvantage because you're diving out of the bounds. So now it's 5-on-4 going that way. So if you save it to the goal, Now they have an advantage going to the rim. So at least throw it in the backcourt, make them go get it.
Yeah, do something. Yeah, that's right. Instinct.
Got some time to recover, exactly. That is instinct. I actually like that. Something
about Bazemore I didn't know was when he was with the Warriors, he got sponsored by Under Armour.
What?
And that it feels being an undrafted guy, wasn't playing a ton. He had 3 points in this game. He's a good player, but to be sponsored and have a deal with Under Armour, they were making their way to get towards Steph, and that there's lots of different stories of that's how they got to him. Obviously, there's big story of Nike messing up the meeting and mispronouncing Stephen Curry, but Under Armour was already doing things and putting down groundwork through Bazemore to get to him on the Warriors. Those North Carolina boys having that in common.
Wow, I did not know.
I didn't know
that either.
That's cool. In Oubre, there's times where I'm like, man, that dude he's got some real skill. Like this, he's a hell of a player. But then,
Hops for sure.
But then what happened? Like I don't know, he just kind of disappears, or maybe is it because is he in Charlotte now? Is that?
I think he's in Charlotte Hornets. Yeah. He's a restricted free agent, I believe, or he might be unrestricted actually. But yeah, he's due for somebody going to reach into their piggy bank to bring him on their team. So that's going to be interesting to track. He has mentioned that he wants to go back to Charlotte, but yeah, he plays one of the most coveted positions in the NBA. He's a wing. He plays two-way, and Bazemore in a lot of ways too. Bazemore's a pretty decent ball handler. So Warriors did a really good job of assembling their team in the interim to get to a championship level. And I think the one connection that I have between Facundo Campazzo of the Nuggets, Bazemore of the Warriors, is that they both became champions after they got rid of these players. So that's not to say anything against them as players, but they managed to churn their value out in a different way. So with Bazemore, he said, no, I'm not taking that extension. And so instead, what did that allow the Warriors to go and do? They dug into the piggy bank and they got some other players with that money that they would have paid him anyway. Had Bazemore taken that extension, maybe the Warriors would have had a little bit less opportunity to go and do X, Y, and Z with their championship roster. So little angle there.
Well, I mean, they're both defenders, really. Like you said, two-way players. And Bazemore won an award in college at Old Dominion for defense. They needed Steph and Draymond and Clay are getting older. They needed some firepower. So going to get Wiggins and things like that and replacing those minutes with guys that can score, Kuminga, they have some different advantages now with those guys. So I think that's a great point.
Great point.
Anybody else got anything on Kent?
Good one. Good moment. I'm struggling right now between those two, deciding which one I like more. I do like that hustle play out of bounds. I like that. I like that he gave that extra effort to dive and tip that back into play.
I think he was just tired and he was falling accidentally and hit the ball. Don't think he meant to do it on purpose at all.
And then I think if you like that one, I think you're gonna like this one. I got Chris Chiozza.
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 Again, following the same footsteps we've had. Great hustle and then a great pass to a good finish. Let's check it out. Brett, what you got?
Yeah.
Is he drafted or is he
it's like your second favorite team, undrafted.
So he was not Chiozza.
He was not
in the draft.
Correct. Oh goodness.
I think he went to the University of Florida. I'm not mistaken, right?
What'd you say, Dream? I couldn't hear you over trees.
No, you're good. Did he go to the University of Florida?
He did.
I think he did. I want to say he went to our school.
I think he did. 18,000 mint count. I love it though. Top Shot debut badge. I do love the badge. It's a steal moment. There's only 33 of these burned. Just about 800 for sale right now, or 3,300 locked. It's got a $2 low ask, but a $3,500 top sell, the highest of all the moments that we have on today. But yeah, I love it. Little tip tap to KD. It's awesome. 23 minutes, 3 points, 2 steals, and 7 assists. Originally Memphis, Tennessee guy. But break it down. Tell us what's kind of happening here.
I was so happy in the last moment you said tip it towards your own basket because I knew this one was coming. That's exactly what I had written down. He's running out of bounds and says, I got KD running. I'll just hit it that way. We'll get something nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think in a lot of ways, the reason why you probably see this Chris Chiozza moment on the platform itself, if I'm not mistaken, this comes after the KD MGLE S2. And so if you guys know that one, it's one of the best moments on NBA Top Shot. I'm probably pumping my own bag. I pulled that in a $24 pack once. And so,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice, dude.
yeah, that was wild. But the thing about that particular play is, you got a bunch of different players touching the ball in order for it to get to the rim. So you got basically Blake Griffin. He gets this crazy save, spin around behind the back pass, and then Chiozza gets the ball and then basically is able to throw it off the backboard to KD, who then goes and slams it. So then Top Shot says, okay, what's the way that we can create an accessible moment? And that's really what the set represents, right? At the time, even though 3,200 seems like a lot, who knows what it was for? It could be for a number one. It could be for like a jersey number. I would hope so. There's some challenge pump happening in that. But the reason why people may have sort of chased this particular play itself is because it was very much the cheaper version of the MGLE S2. And so, that it has some of that lore inside of it, I think. So people knew Chiozza from that MGLE S2 moment. So in some ways, it's good sometimes to have these non-superstar moments, because as you get to learn about the NBA, if Chiozza had turned out to be a player, you may have discovered him through Top Shot, whereas maybe you're not watching as much Nets games. So I think that's sort of what Chiozza sort of became in some ways that season. He's not in the NBA anymore. I think he's in the EuroLeague. He got paid over there. It's not because he's not good enough, I think. But
he can play. Now, no, I agree with you. I think that one of the things you do through Top Shot, you do learn about a lot of different players that you wouldn't know anything about otherwise, unless you're really deep in the NBA like you dream. Totally. But I can't help but notice a Julius Randle sighting. And so I think that needs to be highlighted.
My ex already highlighted his Randle, so we're good there, Treat.
At least we're not talking about his big hands or something. Let's just move on.
Well, somebody said a lot of ball touching, and then he shows up. So,
speaking of ball touching, KD throws it down right there.
Yes.
One dribble from half court.
Unbelievable.
That's covering some ground right there that I can't do.
It would take me 20 dribbles. I'm 5'11".
So
short
as
and fat, I can't even hop.
I'm currently working on my first. I'm currently working on my first rare set here in S4, but at the time during S2 and S3, I'm a basic common collector. So when Hustlin Show came out, it was something that I could actually go and achieve and go after, and it was inflated and expensive at the time, but it was still something that was actually doable for someone like me. So I have a special part in this set, and I love these moments for sure.
It's a good moment.
You mentioned KDs and things like that. There was big time players that I could not afford or get to.
Yeah.
So I would look for cameos like this to where this is technically my Kevin Durant moment, things like that. So
I was in the same boat collecting and hadn't gotten into really rare sets yet. And I love some of these off sets that had big name players, but it wasn't, the MGLEs that you're spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $1,000, $2,000 on, depending on when you got in to Top Shot. So it was a great way to have them, like you said,
and
to watch.
And the real cool part about the way that this transitioned into S3, which is what I remember. So it didn't make, I think, in the end, fiscal sense for Top Shot to continue this forward. But the idea, there's something within the idea itself that there is something there. I don't know how you make it profitable, but these S2 moments, as you said, there were people who always wanted to collect a set. It was so inaccessible. You were sort of just the UI. It just looks cool when you see set complete, something you're really proud of. That goes ingrained in card culture. So that's something that people were looking towards doing on the platform. And this set made a lot of people. So I think this might have been my first team set completion. No, NLL was, but then this one was after. And so for a lot of people, at least, this was their first set that they completed. So then what did Top Shot do? S3 comes out. And then people are now getting airdropped S3 moments. And so you might end up with 4 Marcus Smarts, but now I'm trading my Marcus Smart for your, I don't know. I forget who else is in that set in S3. It's not going to be Porzingis. It's challenge reward, but some of the other players that are in that set. So the trading that was able to come out about as a result. I know we always think about Hustlin Shows a community and shout out some Minjuice. He's a pioneer. He was incredible with what he did with the Discord and everything. But at the same time, really the communal value behind what Hustlin Show meant for me was all these airdrops coming in and people trading them to complete S3.
That's right.
So that was where that came from. And so that's where I think Top Shot, while they haven't really discovered yet, how do we incentivize trading amongst one another, a trading platform, so to speak, that allows us to be able to complete sets without having to necessarily go into our bank accounts or into our, Dapper wallet and being able to buy it itself. While that's not a great value prospect for them from a profit side, there is something to the idea that we should one day, when we get sort of these collection of moments, that we can trade them amongst one another and be able to build something without needing that the community part of it, the connecting part of it has its own value too.
That's right.
So we'll see if they ever decide how to do that someday. And I think in a lot of ways, this trade ticket thing that's coming out now with, I think that's an interesting way to sort of do some hybrid of it, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it's a good. It's that's how they're doing it. Hustlin Show and S4, right? The trade tickets. How you get a pack, and it'll be. I'll be getting as many packs as I can, and whatever dupes I have, I'll be trying to trade to get to collecting this entire set. So I that part of it, collecting those common sets so that you got a shot at getting some packs the next season, the next series, to keep collecting that set over time, I think it's really important because now rare sets are becoming more accessible right now. I've got I collected my first rare set this.
Congratulations, Trudicus.
Yes, Eastern Conference Final, right? Miami, Boston in the bubble, which for me is such a historic.
That is.
I mean, that for me, that was such an important series because I was, we were all struggling during that time, and that gave us that escape. That series was such a great series, and so having that rare set, I never thought I'd get that. But these common sets, man, are real important too, because I just want to keep collecting them every series.
I think you bring up a real interesting point because one of the biggest value sort of props that Top Shot still hasn't really figured out yet how to do is how do we get people to want to complete sets in general, because sort of like the whole locking mechanism behind it, it's kind of hit and miss in terms of what that can yield for you for doing that and locking the set. But at the same time, if people are sort of now having more accessible rare moments, how do you create that sort of funnel? Because really, when we look about this funnel, a lot of the quote unquote junk that people are turning in for trade tickets is turning into a hustle and show pack that they value more than that junk. So how do you then turn some of these common set packs into maybe rare moments that then become a set? How do you make that trajectory to keep moving the funnel along and get us that we've been in this for so long to stop collecting 10 common sets and maybe collect instead 1 or 2 rare sets? And they're sort of figuring that aspect out. So I think once they start to stop being a 1-for-1 sort of aspect where I trade one cheap moment in for 1 trade ticket and maybe I trade 1 rare moment in for X amount of trade tickets. Once they figure out that value prop, I think that's sort of how we get to that point. But that's a great point, Trudicus. And that really should be the next evolution.
Right. I know we tend to focus on NBA Top Shot solely on this show, but currently another Dapper product, NFL All Day, is part of their playbooks. They're doing a special right now for a rare moment of Matthew Stafford, and you have to burn 5 commons to get that. And so very similarly, you're burning 5 off to get that one instead of the 1-to-1. So finding ways to
I didn't know
do a big number of them to be able to earn that moment. That would be helpful for sure.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I'm sorry, go in there, King Bread. I definitely talk way too much, but get in there.
No, no, I love hearing your voice, man. I was just gonna say it's funny. It makes me think about the Cool Cats, series 1 through 10 that we just wrapped up. I learned so much about that and like how the college teams with cats and mascots and like so many different things.
Oh yeah,
you brought up the point that talking about Hustle and Show. It was right after that, and that season was the first airdrops coming in. Encourage the circulation of trading. And now you think of where we're at right now in Top Shot, trading is an everyday occurrence in the CNC community. If you need something, if you need help, if you're trying to complete something, trying to get those tags, and to think about how far we've come. And it's from these sets, it's from all the trial and error. It's where, beta, everyone loves to joke, but like things are getting so much better. The non-utility, if we're looking for a different word, right? The functionality or whatever of our moments, of our collections, and how awesome they're getting and how cool, and the curation team. And it's just, I'm excited like to fast forward a year from now and go back and be like, you remember S4 Hustle and Show. That's what created this, like teleportation or whatever. You know, like the first. I can't wait to like get my first redeem link. Right, you brought it up. A redeem link, and all of a sudden I click it. It's a prism just floating with the moment.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna, my mind's
right
gonna be blown.
hand.
Like
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. It's just so great to see how far we've come, where we are, and where we're still going. And it's cool that Hustle and Show was a big part of that. You know,
no doubt.
Yeah. Two quick things about just kind of things that went through my mind. One is the aspect of trading. And so in a lot of ways, I was mentioning sort of the value prop for Top Shot from a profit standpoint, right? But when you really look at stabilizing the market, the more that people trade things amongst one another besides undercutting the market, that helps stabilize the market. So maybe they won't make as much profit 100%. On the front end, but a belief in the market is fundamental to how this thing comes roaring back. And it's going to take very little once it happens. It's going to be one of those things when you look at some of the, you guys, it's a great job that you guys go list these moments, how many are available, how many are remaining for sale. These things are really important to kind of see how much it's going to take for the moments to sort of, for the floors to kind of even out over time. And that's one aspect that I would go and challenge of Top Shot. And I know they will watch this because they love watching sort of, what we all have to sort of think about this stuff, and gotta give them a shout out.
What up, Top Shot?
Yeah.
What's up?
What
Jacob,
we're up to, which is great.
Pack Rip. What's up, fam?
So
Ryan?
That's one thing. And the second thing I'll say about that is what trading also allows people to do is you guys did a great episode with Pack Drip. So shout outs to Pack Drip.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I loved, one of the things that I loved about his is his belief in Cam Thomas, right? And so he identified a hole in the marketplace where there's no other rookie moment for Cam Thomas. And he's a guy who popped off at one point and people were buying him. And this all over fantasy. Everybody was just buying him left and right in fantasy, picking them up. And you thought you had the holy grail for the season. And maybe that's all it takes for him one day to go and have this super valuable thing that now I may go and trade you something that he may find infinitely valuable. A Tatum MGLE, let's say, if that thing were to pop off to a certain, like, I'm using the wrong probably moment for that, but there's something out there that can turn.
I'm tracking with you. Yeah.
Just maybe like 10 of those things because you want to, because then those 10 things can turn into something else. So it's just all about taking these moments and people who sort of stack and believe in these things. You have to find a way for them to also churn out value too. So a lot of this stuff is going to be, it's going to take a long time, as you guys say, for it to happen. But it incentivizes when you are able to trade things, not just going in the marketplace and dumping them all at once. Because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to actually stack something and then list them in the marketplace. You can't drop all 10 things that you stack at once. You're kind of shortchanging yourself. You got to play the game and sort of do it one after another. I mean, how much better is it that I could then trade 10 of my Cam Thomases for one of your X, Y, and Z, and then I could take that one moment and list it in the marketplace. And not as many eyes are going to be on that moment, but somebody out there is. And so all these transactional things are going to be what Top Shot figures out in the future. And so I'm excited for that. And I'm glad that they brought back Hustle and Show, because that is the funnel that we all need. And then once they get their data, boom, they'll figure out the next step. They're smart.
Nice. Love that.
I was late to the party, joining both NLL and Hustlin Show. They were both complete already, and it was something I wanted to, as you said, finish that set completed on Top Shot. And when I finally got there and was picking up different pieces, the first place that I noticed that was doing all this inter-community trading and all these fun gifts and things was the Hustlin Showroom. Like, they were doing so much cool stuff, and you already mentioned them as well. And so Treat mentioned S4 coming back out, and we were all excited. I'm fired up. There's going to be a new Hustle and Show, which is why we were pumped to bring this show to you and to go through Hustle and Show set series 2 and then 3, and then eventually get to 4 after this closes. So we're excited to see the moments come out and pumped to just talk about these and go through them.
Yep. Can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that, there is a question that there has been looming over all of us.
What's the question?
I know you're probably not expecting this, guys, but I have this burning desire deep down to know your moment of the week. Your choice. There can only be one. 3 have entered. 1 will be chosen.
Okay.
We got Kent Bazemore, Chris. I'm gonna mess it up. Chiozza. Every time I see it, I think of Chia Pet, and I want to go buy a Bob Ross Chia Pet or a Yoda Chia Pet.
Don't worry, I looked it up.
And then Mr. Campazzo himself.
Facundo
Campazzo. We're gonna start with. So you got to pick one, Dream. We're gonna save you the best for last. We're gonna start with 3-ball. We're gonna put some pressure.
No way.
On Treaticus.
Yes, I love that.
Yes way. What's your moment of the episode, man? Hit us with it.
Let's see. I thought they were all standard Hustlin show moments. They could all be great examples for what the set represents. But because I'm a diehard Luka fan, Mavericks, Facundo Campazzo, basically my friend too. I'm cheering for that.
Wow.
Moment. That behind the back pass is awesome. Michael Porter Jr. just throws it down. I like that moment a lot. I'll take the first one.
Okay.
Nice. Facundo Campazzo.
Facundo!
Oh, it's just such a fun thing to say. Like, I wish I had a cooler name. All right, Treaticus, hit us with it.
He can go Facundo himself, but I'm gonna choose Chiozza. I chose you. It's just it's better than the others. It's like, he's not fucking falling out of bounds. Oh, sorry. He tips the steal, tips it to KD. It's the best moment of the three. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And my friend Julius Randle is in there too. So I'm choosing the chosen one, the Chiozza one.
Love it.
King Brett, what you got?
Man, so again, I think it's funny. All of us talked about this was one of our first sets completed, if not our first set. So it kind of shows you and people listening that it's got a special place in our hearts. And for me, this moment I'm choosing because I'm a big KD fan. I really like him. And for me, like I was looking at all the fancy moments I couldn't afford yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go the Chiozza, as Treaticus says himself. Chiozza, Chris Chiozza. Just the whole thing to KD slamming it. I was pumped, and I was the guy looking for all the cameo moments, the cameo LeBrons, the cameo Lucas. And for me, this was one of the first ones.
We had to get excited about something, King Brett.
We did, man. He came in. I was like, $10,000 is the floor on this Luka. Like, I'll never get it.
Look, you can see LeBron's face. He's like, right here.
Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine having a legendary Luka ever. Now I do, and it's just mind blowing. Like,
whoa!
So
congratulations,
congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Never gets.
I wish you'd get in shape and win some games.
Talk about, dude, I'm in shape. Watch me push my bicep.
I'm talking about Luka, not you.
Oh,
I love your body.
I've only had one bowl of queso today.
Don't change, baby.
That's
I love it all. I love it all.
All right, Dream. So no pressure, but you got 3 options. One of them is the correct option. Who's your moment of the episode? What's your choice? You got Kent. You got Chris. You got Facundo. Who's your moment of the episode?
Man, you guys were selling me on. I mean, I don't think anybody is going to put the Bazemore moment necessarily there, just because, the whole contract thing for me is just kind of, I don't know. That's always going to kind of hang over it. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I will say that out of all those moments, if I'm imagining just sort of, I don't know, where Top Shot can be just someday. Just imagine that, for instance, I don't know, we could put on, have you guys ever seen that show, The Jersey? It was on Disney a long time ago, where people would put on the actual jersey of athletes. Let's say you were Junior Seau and you would turn into the linebacker and you could watch it in first person view. So I'm imagining that I'm Facundo Campazzo on this floor, running up and down. And, it's just, there's moments in time when you're in basketball where the whole world just, the right play to make without really knowing the right play to make. And it's something that not every athlete has. And that's what I think also represents not just, the Denver Nuggets, but Nikola Jokic by extension, because it's just, that's his game. And we just saw the NBA championship. You asked us the moment of this week, and this week Denver won it. And even though they beat Miami Heat, I give nothing but respect and love to them because the better team won. And I think that Facundo embodies a lot of what Jokic does really well, which is just that raw instinct to make the right play. And that's why they drafted him. That's why they drafted players. Or they brought players just like that. And that's who I'm going to go with. It's a fire play, and Michael Porter Jr. just won a championship.
Nice.
So,
love it. Nothing but respect.
Wow.
Is that a double rookie badge too? I think it's double rookie.
It is. It's double rookie.
There we go.
Double rookie.
Bringing that up.
So rookies too.
Yep.
We love our rookies. So rookies are one thing that Top Shot's done really, really, really well with.
Yeah.
So that's
No
what
doubt.
I think at least. They've learned from a lot of stuff. And so
sure.
they've really honed in on that. And I think when we look at the revelation set, that's it starts with that, S2 Facundo Campazzo, S1 moments, and it's evolved into that. So I'm excited to see sort of where all this moves down the road. And maybe they'll give us that, cool viewpoint of these athletes with some VR down the road where we can really get into that play and see. Because if you're not a hooper, you might not be able to appreciate it as much. But if you are, then they're all good.
Love that. That's a great.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's wrong. It's wrong, but it's a great.
No.
We're at a stalemate.
All I know is we did both choices were badged moments, right? Triticus and I went with the Top Shot debut. Y'all were with the double rookie, but both great moments. I love it. If you're out there watching, listening, subscribing, check it out. Send us. Let us know what your moment of the episode is. There's obviously a two-way tie. We need you to help break that tie. So let us know. Let us know that Triticus and I are right, and we appreciate you being out there. Sorry.
Here's an idea. Here's an idea. Let's see if Top Shot people watch this show. I want to see some Top Shot folks, Jacob or Austin. Some of you, we want to see your vote. You break the tie. You break the tie, Top Shotters.
I love that idea. Yeah, definitely. If you guys, I can slide into the DMs. You guys slide into there. I'll definitely go and share that out there in the world. I think they'll enjoy this conversation because at the end of the day, we're digging into the analysis of common S2 and S3s. That I get it. This was a challenge to do, I will say, but you all you crushed it. I think this is a really cool conversation. Dude, as a basketball head, like hoops head, this is awesome.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's why this started, because think about when you opened up packs, how many of every moment do you watch from start to finish of all the moments in the packs you get? Yeah. And so you watch these and you see stuff you never saw, you never knew. So much for learning about what's actually in our collection. And we love talking, we love having guests like you come on and blow our mind.
Yes, with
all the communities involved today, and we mentioned, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know Hustlin Showroom, Boards to Buckets, of course, Collectin and Connectin. Dropped NLL several times. Obviously, all the Top Shot fam.
The badges, all these Badge County boys out there.
We can't stop.
Love visiting the county, baby.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you all for joining episode 11 of Moment by Moment. This has been great, you guys. Hustling Show Series 2. Appreciate y'all being here.
Peace out, guys.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Later, y'all.
Thank you, Dream. You've been awesome, man. Appreciate you breaking down moments with us, buddy.
Love
it. Chips, love, and queso.
Oh man, I'm gonna go get some right now. That's it.
Dude, I love it. You got to.